Tonya is a young lady with a big dream. Her dream is to represent her state in an international athletic competition. She had the talent, she had the opportunity, she has the potential, but she also has a problem. Tonya loves food. Not just food, any food, every food. Everywhere Tonya is, there must be food. She must be eating. She feels obligated to food so much that she can't resist it. Morning, afternoon, night, she is always eating. And there are snacks in between also. If she enters a space where there is food, that food must end up in her stomach. That's her standard. Her coach has repeatedly warned her, Tonya, your talent alone cannot get you there. Your future depends on your discipline. But Tonya ignored all the warnings until one day, her coach said to her, if you cannot control what enters your life, then you cannot be allowed into this competition. And just like that, Tonya's dream was placed at risk. Not because she lacked ability, not because she lacked opportunities, but because she failed to filter. And if we are to be honest with ourselves, many people today are like Tonya, not necessarily with food, but with information, with relationships, with distraction, opinions, entertainment, habits, opportunities. Life keeps bringing opportunities to you, but a lot of times you fail the filter tests. Which brings us to today's topic of discourse, the filter test. One of the most important factors that separates successful people from unsuccessful people are those who are able to filter. Those who don't allow everything to come into their lives. Most times, those that sabotage their lives, the misconception they have is that they need more things to come into their life for them to become better. So they go for more information, they go for more opportunities, they go for more relationships, they go for more activities, and even more commitments. But successful people have understood something. They've understood that it's not just about how good you are in receiving things. It's also how excellent you are in filtering different things that you don't want to enter into your life. Now, I want you to think about your phone. Imagine that in your phone, that every app is allowed to access every part of your phone. You would notice something, that phone will be in danger. Why? Because viruses will enter it, the performance will decline, and the system will generally become slow. Not because of any other thing, but because of unfiltered access. Life is the same way. Successful people filter 4 key areas of their lives. The first one is the information that they take into themselves. Because not every headline deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your consideration. Not every trend deserves for your participation. Successful people also filter the relationships that they have. Because not everyone that gets into your life should have equal access to every single thing in your life. There are some that are in your life to add value, and there are some other ones that are there to add confusion. Successful people also filter the opportunities they get. Opportunities? Yes. Opportunities must also be filtered. Why? Because not every opportunity around you is yours. There are some of them that are there to move you forward, while others are just there to keep you busy without actually adding anything to your life. Successful people also filter the distractions around them, because not everything that is available means that thing is also beneficial. No. There are certain things that are available but are not beneficial to you. And not every yes is required. Why? Because for every yes you say, it consumes your space so that something more important will not have any place to stay. So, not every time that anything comes around you that it deserves to remain with you. There are some that will come and you leave them. There are some things you will scroll past and you don't give it attention. So the question now is, if filters are so important, why then do many people struggle to use them? A lot of people know that they need boundaries in their lives, yes. A lot of people know they need standards around them. They know that filters are so important, yet they resist filters. Why? I'm going to share 3 things with you, and they are all based on fear. The first one is fear of missing out. They ask themselves, what if this chance is all the chance I would get? What if something important happens without me? So because of that, they keep accepting everything, and very soon they get overwhelmed by everything. The second reason people resist having filters in their life is because of fear of rejection. Many people today are in unhealthy relationships simply because they don't want to disappoint the other person. So because of that, they tolerate different things and they face different challenges simply because they feel that when they reject someone or reject an opportunity, it means that they are rejecting the person. So because of that, they remain in things that they should leave. The third fear that makes people stay without filter is the fear of being misunderstood. Sometimes saying no makes people feel uncomfortable. Sometimes we believe that saying no to people, that it would actually hurt them. And because of that, we continue to say yes, even in the places we are meant to set boundary. Meanwhile, the people you are trying to protect their ego and help not to feel bad are actually people who are enjoying your life without boundaries. They are the people you are trying to protect. And because people fear to be misunderstood, they stop filtering. And then what happens is that everything gains access to them. But let me share something with you. Every meaningful life must have a selective access, because not everything must be allowed to come in. If not, you will not be able to protect yourself. And please don't feel bad when you are protecting yourself, because your future is worth protecting. Now, the question is, what is the cost of not having filters in your life? Oh, there are costs. I'm sure you know. Now, let me ask you, imagine a house without a gate, without security. Anyone can enter, anyone can leave. Anyone can pick anything, anyone can drop anything. Would you be comfortable staying in that kind of house? Of course not. And that is exactly the same thing that happens with people. A lot of people have left their mental and emotional state open without any form of access, any form of access control, so that anything can just walk in and walk out into their lives. And with that, 4 things become a problem around them. Meanwhile, they're not able to trace it to what is causing it. The first issue that they have is that they have multiplied distractions. Every notification becomes urgent. They want to give everything attention. Every invitation becomes necessary. Every trend becomes important. And then the next thing is that they have their life overcrowded. I'm sure you've met those people who, after they've gone to work and back, they feel so exhausted. Not because they did so much in the office, no, but simply because they were overcrowded by different things that are not necessary, simply because they did not fix an access control in their lives. The second thing that becomes a problem with someone who lives a filterless life is that confusion around the person will increase, because there will be too many voices, too many opinions, too many influences. And then what is the result? The person will lose clarity. Why? Because a lot of things are speaking at the same time. And then the third thing is that the person will begin to have blurred priorities. The priorities the person should actually have very clear in their faces will become blurred. Why? Because a lot of people are speaking at the same time. And what it does is that the important things are now pushed aside. And then the unimportant things that are just urgent will take center stage. Then you will see that pressure will begin to replace purpose in their lives. And then the fourth and most important thing that happens to people who live a filterless life is that peace will disappear from their life. Because without filter, a lot of things will be getting into your mind and you will have an overcrowded mind. Your emotions will be exhausted, your focus will be fragmented, and your peace will begin to disappear. Because peace is not just created by the things you allow into your life, they are also protected by the things you shield from coming into your life. So the next logical question you could ask is, if filter is this important, how do I know the things that are important that I should allow? How do I know the things that I should leave outside? I'm going to give you 4 litmus tests that you must have to conduct for anything that is about to get into your life. If you consider that thing significant, you must pass it through these 4 litmus tests. The first one is, you must ask yourself, this thing I'm about to accept into my life, is it true? Because not everything you hear is accurate. Not every story is factual. Not every information is required and is reality. Not every assumption is a reality. You must have to verify them before you let them into your life. If not, you will be taking in things that are unnecessary into your life. The second litmus test that it must pass before it gains passage into your mind is you ask yourself, is it useful? Because some things could actually be true, but they are not useful. There are some gossips that are true, but are not useful. There are some rumors out there today. They are true, they are factual, but they are not useful to you. There are some negative commentaries out there that are true, but the question is, does it help you grow? If it does help you grow, then pick it up and allow it in. If it doesn't, fight it with everything, because it's coming to derail you and to move you away from what you're supposed to focus on. The third litmus test that it must pass before it gains access into your life is that you must ask yourself, is it healthy? Is it healthy? Will it improve my life? Will it help my peace? Will it improve my relationship? Will it help me become more emotionally mature? If it will, then allow it. But if it won't, then most likely when it comes in, it is going to damage things instead of improving them. The fourth thing that you must have to check before you allow anything access into your life is, does it align with my life? You ask yourself, this thing I'm about to bring in, does it align with the person I am building myself to become? Does it support my value? Does it move me closer to my dreams? Or does it move me away from my dreams? Many people today are getting into trouble because they fail to realize that a lot of things that are causing the harm in their lives today did not come in suddenly. It came in gradually. One unchecked decision, one ignored warning, one unfiltered influence from somewhere, one unnecessary compromise, and the next thing you see is that your life has actually been ravaged by things that you don't want. But I want you to note that if you are ever going to create access control in your life, the first access control you require is to first of all set a goal, so that everything that comes around you, you pass it through the lenses of, does it fit into this goal? Does it help me become a better person? If it doesn't, then it's unnecessary. If you have leisure time, you could give your leisure time to such things. But if you don't, you focus on the things that are very, very necessary. Because the earlier you learn to begin to filter, the fewer the problems you would have to solve in the future. So let's tie it up together. Remember in the story I told you at the beginning, Tonia did not lose the opportunity because she lacked talent. She nearly lost the opportunity of representing her state in the competition simply because she lacked filters. And the same principle applies to every area of our lives. The quality of your future is determined not only by the things you pursue, but it's also determined by the things you allow permission into your life. Because at every point in life, your life is asking, what deserves access? What deserves access? It is checking to know what it is that deserves access. And the answer you give to that will actually determine the shape your life will take. If you give it the right answer, it will have the right shape. If you give it the wrong answer, then you will have the wrong shape. Why? Because successful people are not simply collectors of opportunities and everything that comes. They are also protectors of their focus, protectors of their peace, protectors of their purpose. That is how successful people differentiate themselves from people who are struggling and sabotaging their lives. So what are you meant to do with this information? All you need to do is that today, I would like you to conduct a simple audit in your life. Ask yourself, what information am I allowing into my mind? What relationships am I allowing into my life? What distractions are coming to attack my purpose? What are those habits that are in contrast to the future that I am building? And most importantly, ask yourself, what should I no longer give access in my life? Because the truth is, every door you leave open will naturally let things in. But wisdom demands that you mount guard at your doorpost, shut the doors that should be shut, and allow controlled access to the things that will help your goal and your growth. Because those two things are the things that will make you successful, help you to achieve the things that you have planned for yourself, and not self-sabotage yourself. This has been Ace with Okwi, the Wealth Maestro. This discussion will continue on my Facebook page and other social media platforms at Okwi W Maestro. Ensure you follow me, drop me a comment, leave me with a question. Let's continue to build, to know how to install a beautiful filter and an operational and effective filter in our lives so that we can achieve clear success and excellence. God bless you.